He was back when I woke up again. His shirt wasn't crushed like it usually was when he came home from the hours of warming the soft, cushioned seat in his office. He continued to hover around and didn't once bother to ask me if the pain had lessened or how I felt when my womb had been invaded by forceps. The tranquilizers that had been prescribed were clouding my brain, blurring my vision, but even then I attempted to think. There had been a niggling feeling that had started creeping into me that he just wanted me out of his life. Today, that feeling was a little stronger, yet someone inside me kept saying that I was wrong. The voice was faceless, almost like hope. That voice wanted me to believe that all was well, that it was just a phase, a trough that we would emerge out of. I slept again and woke up the next morning to see him by my side. I put my arm around him gently so as to not awaken him. The medicines had worked. The pain in the lower abdomen was much better. The burning sensation was gone. I wasn't going to go to work today at the doctor's advice. It was a pity because today was the 2nd of April and I was to get my letter of promotion. We had planned to celebrate our promotions very long ago, and now, when that time had come, I wasn't in a state to. What is a celebration without a drink? I had vowed to myself that I wouldn't drink any more. He stirred up, looked at me, and his expression changed. He pushed my arm away, got up, and walked the 5 steps to go to the washroom. For the umpteenth time, I wondered what was going on in his mind. He came out and wore his clothes, still silent. He didn't even bother asking me how I was. He didn't even smile at me. He could have been a corpse that had started walking, having found a reservoir of energy. "Why won't you speak to me?" I asked, unable to hold it any longer. "I don't feel like it," he replied. "Feel like it? How could you even come up with a witty retort to that? What's wrong? Tell me. You've never been like this." I implored him to spill out his heart. "It's nothing. Go back to sleep," he said in a gruff tone. "I want to speak to you at length about what is bothering you," I demanded. "I'm getting late for work. I have to go," he said, and took 2 steps towards the bathroom. I waited for an eternity until he returned back from the bathroom. "All right, but today, not tomorrow. You and I need to have a conversation." I gave him an ultimatum. "I'll do it when I have to," he replied arrogantly. He dressed as I contemplated what to say next. Have I done something wrong? I was near tears. "No, I have," he said, and walked out, not giving me a chance to even understand what he meant. Robin gave me breakfast. I was feeling better by the afternoon physically. Mentally, I was a wreck. Emotionally, I was an inferno. I couldn't hold myself back. I couldn't wait until he was back from work. I just couldn't. I looked around for my cell phone, but couldn't find it. I hadn't used it since yesterday. I bent down to look under the bed, and a sharp pang of pain rose through me. The cell phone lay there. I picked it up and dialed his number. "Yes, what is it?" he replied. Normally, I would have given him the benefit of doubt that he was busy at work, but not today. "What did you mean when you said that you've made a mistake?" I asked him. "In just being with you," he said. "Why? What makes you say that?" I asked. My worst fears were being confirmed. "I'm not sure if I love you," he said. "And you are saying that today, after so much has happened?" I said. "What's happened?" he asked. "The divorce and the abortion weren't happenings? The affair, the love, and the passion weren't happenings? The abortion, didn't you think this over when we were having sex and you got me pregnant?" "How do I know it was mine? You went around drinking with strange men. How do I even know that the child was mine?" he said. I took the phone away from my ear just to double check that I hadn't dialed a wrong number. It wasn't so much about feeling like a whore, but being thought of as one. I was so deeply hurt that words failed me. "I'm so disgusted. I hate you," I screamed in rage. "That's fine. It's about time you stopped using me," he said. "Using you? I thought we were in love," I said. "And where was that love when you got married to someone else?" Aditya said. Why didn't he bring this up when we had had this conversation earlier? He hadn't any reservations about this back then. The man didn't cease to surprise me. "I did it for you. I thought I already explained myself," I said. "You leave me when you want to, and you come back when you want to. You're only interested in my money. Outside of that, there's nothing else. I'm sick of being treated like a doormat." This conversation was over. I neither had the energy nor the willingness to explain to an uncouth, rude, insensitive man what I had felt. I hated him. It was a good thing that he wasn't near me, else I would have dug my fingernails into his face and scratched him. I wanted to kill him with a dagger, stabbing it in his chest once for every word in this conversation. I detested him. Period. Despite the lingering pain, I picked up the small bag that we had brought with us to the hospital and packed up everything that belonged to me in this house. I had Robin summon a rickshaw and I went home. In the sweltering heat, the sort of heat that evaporates dreams, I was burning. I had been slighted, I had been wronged, and I wanted revenge.